What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk, guys. As always, since this is a live chat, we're going to allow a few people some time to get in the room. What's up, everybody? I am ready to talk TD. Same, Julio. I got a lot to talk about, man. Can Tanny's contract be renegotiated? Of course it can. Will it? Man, we're going to have a real good conversation right now, man. What's up, DMV Live? What's up, Aaron, Elias? Thank you, everybody who's tuning in to the live stream. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support of TD Fans Talk. Guys, we have to have a man. Oh my gosh, we got to have a good conversation right now, man. The future of the Miami Dolphins, man. The future of the Miami Dolphins. We really need to have a conversation, man. You went back and listened as well. Yes, I did. I had to. I had no choice, man. I had no choice. Man, my lighting. I had no choice. I had to go back and listen to Gase and Grier. And boy, I tell you, there was a lot said. And I'm the type of person I dissect when things are said. I dissect every little piece. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm going to be honest with you. What was said has me really spinning, my head spinning, because I'm nervous for our franchise, and I'm gonna tell you. I'll tell you why in a second, man. We're gonna give a few more seconds for some individuals to come in. Again, thank you for tuning in to TD Fans Talk. Guys always ask me what's the best way they can support the channel. Can I donate, TD? Can I donate? Hey, listen, the best way you can support this channel is just by sharing it, letting other Fin fans know. Let your friends and your family members, whatever you have to do, let them know about TD Fans Talk. You can take this video as well as anyone and hit the share button and text or email anyone a link to the video for them to subscribe and turn the notifications on. So that's always the best way to support the channel, guys. But thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Tannehill is not guaranteed money. What are you talking about, man? We'll get into all of that, man. But guys, thank you guys. Let me read some of your comments before I get all on with what I want to say, man. And TD, what do you think of Jarvis, about Jarvis laughing on Twitter? Apparently the Browns like Gase. Listen, man. It's just weird. All this coaching stuff, all this stuff is weird, man. You know, where do you think Adam is going? I don't know. I have no idea, man. But I will say this. Adam is old news for the Miami Dolphins, y'all. The sooner we come to the grips of that, the better it will be. Adam Gase is old news for the Miami Dolphins. He's old news. He is history now. He is history. What he does shall be determined from afar at this point. All right. Gates guaranteed 10 million. Boy, we taking hits everywhere. Do you think that Talk Bulls is going, Todd Bowles, I don't know who you're talking about, to sign with the Dolphins? You said Talk Bulls. I think you meant Todd Bowles. How to sign Todd Bowles. Which player you think is gone? Man, we're going to have a deep conversation. All right, guys. So if you're trying to get a message to me in the chat, you probably are going to be unsuccessful for quite a while because I'm going to talk, all right? I'm going to talk about what's going on, man. What I just heard in that press conference, it verifies some of the stuff I've been talking about, but it might have confirmed my worst fears, all right? And we about to find out, man. You're spot on, Jose Cruz. Let's talk about it, man. So, oh my gosh, this is tough. I can't believe I just heard what I heard. I really can't believe it. Hold on, guys. I need some comfort, man. I gotta go to war, man. Let me go with this one, man. Let me hold on to my Miami Miracle, man, because it was a memory this year, man. Let me hold on to Miami Miracle, man. Let me make sure I straighten up my 50th anniversary hat. Y'all already know. Y'all know what time it is. But listen, guys, let's talk, man. Matter of fact, I'm backing up, man. I'm backing up, kicking the legs up. Let's talk, guys. What I just heard, I do not like. First and foremost, I was correct. All these reports, Stephen Ross reportedly going to let Adam Gase go. Stephen Ross put all that to bed, and I have every reason to believe Stephen Ross. He's a billionaire, don't care what other people think. He say what he say when he say it, and he mean it. He lives a life where he never has to lie. He lives a lifestyle that he never has to lie. He said it out of his own mouth. First and foremost, all you reporters, I don't know where you were getting all the reports that I was letting Gates go. You were wrong. You were wrong. I did not make a decision to let him go until last night. I had a good long time to think about it, and I didn't let him go until I didn't decide to let him go until last night. Okay? Now, that clears that up. All these rumors I told y'all, fake news. At the end of the day, you won't know until the end. And he cleared that up, all right? Now, here's what is so scary to me. They asked Stephen Ross, then what made you make the decision to let him go? And this was such a noble answer. And honestly, it makes me feel like Adam Gase is going to get another head coaching job position because of what Stephen Ross said. Stephen Ross basically said, I let him go because he wants to win now. He wants to win now. Guys, I cannot make this up. You have to read between the lines is what's being said there. So what made you make the decision to let him go? Well, Adam, he wants to win now. He wants to win now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. My worst fears were confirmed when he said that. My worst fears were confirmed when he said that. No, I didn't misunderstand him, L. Burgess. Let me finish it up. Let me finish what I'm saying. And then you tell me if I misunderstood him. Or maybe we all don't know what he meant. But this is what I got out of it. He wants to win now. He's saying that because Adam Gase's input on the roster this year, we need to plug this hole, we need to plug that hole, we need to win now. Now, they knew we can't go get a first round offensive lineman to plug that hole. We can't go get one in free agency. Nobody wants to come here that's the big name young player. Nobody wants to come here, and we can't afford them. So what does Gates go do? He go get a Sitton and a Kilgore. He goes and gets Sitton and Kilgore. If you ask me, it was a great decision. He went and got Sitton and Kilgore. Them boys was holding it down at the beginning of the season. We were proud of them. Let's be honest. We were proud of Sitton and Kilgore. They was doing their job. Gates wanted them. They got hurt. Whole plan spoiled. Entire plan spoiled. And that's what Stephen Ross was talking about when he said he wanted to win now. Because that's what he means by wanting to win now. He wanted to plug holes on the roster. He wanted to plug holes on the roster that would be ready to go compete right now. But long term in the franchise, I can tell you now, Grier, in his mind, no, let's not do that. Let's continue to try to find the future piece for that. Yeah, it might give us growing pains next year. They may not even turn out. They might not even, it's a process, Adam Gase. That press conference showed me the battle that's been happening from the coach's standpoint, Tannenbaum's standpoint, and Grier's standpoint. That press conference should have told y'all a whole lot. What it told me is Tannenbaum supported what Gase wanted to do, which was win now by filling those holes right away versus taking our time, getting pieces in the draft. We got a process going here. We brought in Minka. We brought in Tunsil. We brought in Xavier Howard. We brought in this. We brought in Raekwon. We're bringing the future in. Let's keep the process going. Eventually, we're going to have that team. By the time Tunsil is an 8-year veteran, we gonna just hit our mark to compete for Super Bowls every year because we're rotating talent in, young talent. That's what Grier's vision is. I got all of that out of what he was talking about. I have a certain way I see of building a football team. He's using all these things of building, creating. And Adam Gase and those guys win now. And as a fan base, let's be honest, we're behind win now. We don't question how we doing it, but we like, hey, let's win now. Grier don't have win now in mind. Grier has build an organization in mind. Build an organization in mind. That's where the problem came. That's why I know when he said, then what made you want to get rid of Tannehill if it was a hard decision and you made it just last night? Adam wants to win now. Adam wants to win now. These are Stephen Ross's words. Shout out Nintendo Fortnite. These are Adam Gase's words. He wants to win now. That's why he went and plugged this whole plug. I saw the vision. The same thing I've been telling y'all. You can't go forward to get them in the draft or in free agency. Some of them don't even want to come to Miami. Then if they want to come, you got to overpay them, and we ain't got the money to do that. So Adam Gase was like, let's just fill these holes. Josh Sitton, Kilgore, good veterans we can get for cheap prices. Yeah, but they're old. They're old. That's where the battle was coming. That's what I got out of that. That's Grier's stance, but they're old. But Gase wants to win now. Let's plug these holes. Then those injuries came, and it was a case of playing spoiled. Playing spoiled. And to be honest, we all can agree that if half the injuries didn't take place, we at least a wild card team. We could at least been a wild card team, which ain't saying much, y'all. It ain't saying much. But that's what's happening, man. And then furthermore, I'm listening and I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm not mad that they let Adam Gase go, because at the end of the day, we have to ask, man, it's all coming back to me. Didn't I say this about a month and a half ago when we were on here like a 3-hour stream? It was just arguing. I said this argument ain't about a quarterback. It's not about this and that and this. I literally said this, and now the proof is coming out. If you remember this, let me know. I said the argument is, are we going to be a franchise that's going for it now, or are we going to be a franchise that's rebuilding and building young talent for the future? I said that's the real argument. That's the real argument. It's not about the personnel and which player we should put here and there. This first decision the Miami Dolphins have to make is, are we trying to win big now, or are we trying to build a long, sustaining organization that wins or is competitive every year? And Nick Poverman, I hate for you to say that, man. That makes me sad. I think it's going to happen, though, Nick. Nick said, I'm 53, and I'm starting to think I'll never see another Super Bowl win. I feel you, man. But I'm starting to feel, let me tell y'all something, man. When I say I might have confirmed my worst fears, when I say that I might have confirmed my worst fears, I didn't mean that in a bad way. I did not mean that in a bad way, y'all. I meant it in a good way. Let me tell y'all why. TD has always been stuck on a crossroad. Are we becoming an organization that is trying to win now, or are we becoming an organization that's trying to build a sustaining culture that's winning or competing every year? And I've always been at that crossroad. Here's why. Because our organization has forced us to be at that crossroad. They have forced us to be there. And this is proof. I want to ask y'all a question. Everybody on this live stream, there's about 151 people in the room. I want to ask y'all a question. Which do you prefer? Do you, and I know even the 53-year-olds that's scared they'll never see it, but which do you prefer? Would you prefer winning right now and it be a short-term basis? See, same thing that Ross said. It's not about me winning it right now one time. It's not about me winning it one time. He said that in the conference. Go look at it. It's not about me winning it right now. I want to be competitive and be able to try to win it every year. Do y'all want to win now? Or do y'all want to build an organization that's the way it's set up is long-term success? Long-term competing every year for it. Which do you prefer? Please tell me in the comment section. Build. I know what that means. Sustain winning. Build. Both. Not going to happen. Be competitive every year. Build an organization. Rebuild. Long-term. Long-term. All right. I got my answer. This is why a few months ago I literally said we have to figure out if we're going to be now or long-term. Because what everything in front of us was a now. Going to get those guys sitting in Kilgore, the Quins, all those guys. It told me now. So that's what we're stuck to talk about. How can we make the now the best we can? How can we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to re-sign. We need to re-sign Tannehill, restructure his deal. Same thing with Canway, X, Y, and Z. We need to restructure this one, pay this one more. Because we're in now mode, because our coach put us in now mode. Our coach in Tannenbaum put us in right now mode. So nobody's to blame. Ain't none of y'all wrong for thinking of the now. We need to do this, bring in Le'Veon Bell, do this, do that, do this, do that. Nobody's blaming y'all because our coach put us in that mode. If that's the direction we got to go, then we're going to be focused on what do we need to do in this direction. We're not going to focus on did we take the wrong direction. Why it was unfortunate is because I even said this in one of my streams, in a few of the streams. I see the progress. I see what we're trying to do. I see what we're building. Look at this. If y'all don't see this young talent being ushered in, you're missing it. Y'all remember me saying that several times. If y'all don't see all this young talent coming in, you're missing what we're doing. We're kind of now, but building for the future. I could see it. And I honestly think the real reason that Adam Gase was ultimately fired is because he wasted an entire year this year. He wasted an entire year on his agenda when the real agenda of the organization is long term. I don't know if the communication was mixed there, and I don't think it was mixed because I think that there were clashes. I think there were a lot of clashes. No, we need to do this, and them, no, we need to. That's why Adam Gase, every time they ask him about personnel, he up there on the stage. No, I don't think. Man, it's all coming back to me now. Do y'all remember the one time he was on the stage a day before free agency was over? The day before free agency, that's when it was. Go check out those videos if you can remember those days. If you can remember the day before free agency is over, go watch his video, press conference. It's all coming back now. Well, I mean, what moves are you going to make to address this and that? And he said it so stern, like almost like throwing it in the face of the front office. No, I don't believe we're going to make any moves. I don't think we're going to make not a single move. He literally said that. If y'all don't remember that, go back and check it out because I don't want y'all to think I just be blowing smoke. He literally said that. I can tell you now, I don't think we're going to make any moves. I don't think we're going to make any moves. Gase won it now. I know he was in that office fussing. We need to bring this in. Let's trade for this. Give up a draft pick for this. He was in straight now mode. I'm seeing it now. He was in now mode. To be fair, ain't that what the fan base was asking him for? Because let's be honest, We can sit here and say, but we can't. No, he should have went in the draft and got a young player, though. We ain't have enough draft picks for that. We ain't got enough first rounders for that. That's why it's a process. Sometimes it takes years. Sometimes it takes years. This year's draft was a win. We got 3 starting caliber players in this year's draft. We got Minka Fitzpatrick, Jason Sanders, and I give a mix between the linebacker and Jasecki. Between those two, I give them a little. I count them as one because we're gonna see one of them might turn out. It was a successful draft. If you can keep getting 3 more every single year out of 7 that's ready to start and being studs, you got a 3 or 4 year deal right there. So you can't get it all in the draft in 1 year. Adam Gase needed now. Adam Gase wanted now. He didn't want the 3 years later. That money, Kilgore and Sitton's money, we could have struggled at O-line all year at this pace and had a better draft pick. So Kilgore and Sitton's money and all those other plugs for now, all those other plugs for now, that was at least one free agent where you could have gave them the money that they deserve. But they're young and, hey, you're part of the future. That's how Grier and them look at it. You want it now, man. This is methodical. We clashed a lot. I said no, you fussed and pouted. I gave my opinion. Y'all decided this, and I finally gave you that, but I kept telling you, hey, it's at your risk. This is what's happening, y'all. But Tannenbaum was the one, the advocate for Gase. It had to be. Tannenbaum was in the now as well. He was in the now as well. Tannenbaum came in just spraying. And you spot on, VJ Sierra. Mike Tannenbaum left the Jets a mess. I know why, because the vision. That don't mean Mike Tannenbaum may be bad, but Mike Tannenbaum might need to be a GM going to be in a GM that already got the roster right in front of him set and ready to go. And he can keep on adding to that and get you what you need. But he's not a rebuild GM. He ain't got the patience. It's all good. 2 and 2 are adding up right now. And it's been in front of us the whole time. But that press conference gave us answers. It was a power struggle in the organization between Tannenbaum and Grier. And Tannenbaum had Adam Gase's back, and Grier was probably the whole time. Listen, Stephen Ross, I just want to be upfront with you. This is what's going on. This is what I'm struggling with. I have this vision. They have that vision. That's the decision you're going to make, Mr. Ross. Do you like the vision that I have for the long-term success? I can tell now. Grier had already said, so Grier going to talk about, hey, I found out the decision this morning. Of course you did, because yesterday after the game, you laid out your spiel to Ross. And I'm not mad at him for it. Rightfully so. This is the vision I had. If you can notice, I've been doing my part to look out for this vision. Look at what I brought in. I'm ushering the future in. I'm ushering long-term success. Look at half of our team now are good players, but all of them under 25 years old. That's what I was able to do. I've been saying I need 2 more years to make this at least 20, more than half of our roster, young, good players. This is what we need, but they want to win now. And then look at the now. They brought in Kilgore and Sitton. Great decisions, but look at the risk you're taking. And then we got bit by those risks. They got hurt. Yeah, they were good players. They probably could have got it done, but are we going to be a now organization or are we going to be a future organization? So, Stephen Ross, when you make your decision tonight, I'm going to tell you now, it's going to be hard for me to go forward doing my job if we're constantly in the now, when I can build you something that can sustain you a winning organization for years and years and years and years to come. That's what you got to make a decision on. This big boy talk when they're on that level. Grier ain't no fool. Grier went right up in there and gave him the spiel. That's what you're making a decision on. And Grier knew he was going to win that battle. Stephen Ross is a businessman. What would you do in your business? Stephen Ross will take no profits and losses for the next 3 years if that meant he was going to have profits and gains for the next 50 years. Wealthy people ain't looking for the now. Wealthy people don't care about the now. Wealthy people look for the future. They can put $100 in the stock right now, and they can look at it 6 months later, and that $100 turned to 97. They shrug their shoulders. I know that this investment in 30 years is going to be 200. I'm going to double my money. I ain't no fool. They have enough money to be patient. Everything on that man's mind is building something where I can sit back with my billionaire friends and forget that I'm a billionaire. I'm also a mogul. I run a football team that's balling out every year. My name is always out there. You don't think these billionaires be chasing for props and recognition? It's on a whole nother level, though. It's one thing to be a billionaire. Some of y'all didn't even know Ross's names. Some of y'all didn't even know Ross's name until he bought the Dolphins. We don't know who all these billionaires are, but I tell you one thing, they want all their friends to know who they are. They want all their billionaire friends to know who they are. That's right. Yeah, I'm the owner of the Miami Dolphins, and I'm a billionaire. I'm just living my best life. Living my best life. Oh, yeah, my organization's doing very well, and all my other organizations. Just living my best life. That puts him, it's stuff like that they want. That's the attention they want because it puts them a little above their friends. We both billionaires, hey, but I got an NFL organization, and we're winning, and we're winning, and we're winning, and we're winning, and we're winning. Oh, yeah, you saw me on TV last night holding up the trophy. Yeah, the owners come on the stage. Yeah, you know, just a little something I do on the side. Y'all, man, it's just real talk, man. With that being said, y'all, we in rebuild mode. They let the boys play around, see if they can get it done. They didn't get it done. Stephen Ross said, why would I do the same thing over and over? And you know what we've been doing over and over? And no, it ain't Tannehill. You know what we've been doing over and over? Plugging holes. Am I wrong, y'all? Y'all let me know in the comment section. Am I wrong? What have we? Somebody asked me earlier, what's went wrong in the last 7 years? After what I just heard, I know what went wrong in the last 7 years. All we keep doing is plugging holes. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comment section. Am I wrong that all we've been doing is plugging holes for the last, forget 7, for the last 15, 20 years since Dan Marino? All we've been doing is plugging holes. Plugging holes. Plugging holes. That's just real talk, man. Ain't no more, oh, Gase is out, this and that and this, and me and all that. Hey, man, we talking real football business from this point on, man. Real football business. Real football business. Because let me tell you something. Real talk, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love doing it the right way. If we're going to screw up and keep on going for the now, I'm going to be behind that too because that's the direction our team is going. But I know which direction we're going right now. And to be honest, I love it. I love the direction. I love it. And I'm going to be quite honest with you, that just might mean Tannehill is out. That just because I don't think nobody got what they wanted, to be honest, because we've been fooled the entire time. Nobody on this chat got what they wanted. If you wanted Tannehill, you're probably not going to get it. I mean, you might get him one more year. It just depends. We'll talk about it. But long term, we will not have Tannehill. It's a slim chance, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's a slim chance. Everything has to be perfect. It has to be perfect going forward. So I don't think that's going to be the case because you have your growing pains, but we're not looking for perfect. In the new direction that our team is going, we're not looking for perfect. We're just looking to make solid decisions. 7 draft picks, perfect is getting all 7 of them ready to start. It's not realistic. But we sure need those 3 every single draft. We need 3 out of those 7 to end up being starting material. Tannehill's future in Miami is a lot grimmer, and it's not because it's Ryan Tannehill. Happy New Year to you too, 3652 Moose. Appreciate you. Love you, man. It's not about Tannehill, and it wasn't about Gase. See, open your eyes, people. Nobody gonna get what they want. It wasn't about Tannehill, and it wasn't about Gase. It was about if we were gonna win now or trust the process. That's what it's always been about, y'all. And we've been chasing what they've given us where it was about. We've been chasing what we thought it was about. Because let's go for it right now. That's what it was about. That's all they gave us. That's all they gave us, man. It wasn't about those two. But let me tell you why nobody got what they want. Because people who want Tannehill, based off of the direction that we're about to head, I don't see it. It doesn't make sense. You know how it didn't make sense to let him go because of the money and all of that? But with the direction we're going, it doesn't make sense, y'all. It doesn't. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. It doesn't. Now, for the people who wanted Tannehill gone, didn't really get what they wanted either. The reason why? We're no longer in go for it now mode. So all these quarterbacks you're naming, bring this person in, they'll get it done. That's still go for it right now mode. So if you think they're going to be wasting big money on a good free agent quarterback and things like that, he got to come. The quarterback has to come in. See, now we can go get any quarterback that come up in that mid-range money level. We will pay a quarterback what they do, but we're not paying them like they're our franchise, our future. That's the type of quarterback that might be ushered in. And it might be Tannehill just restructured. I don't know. But whatever quarterback you see behind the helm next year, it will not be your quarterback for the future. It will not be your quarterback for the future. Because I'm going to tell you, they know the smart thing to do, build a team, and throw that nugget right in the middle of it. And we're in the middle of building the team. We're in the middle of building a team. TD, I disagree. We bringing in our future QB, I guess you mean next year. Let me tell you why you ain't bringing your QB in next year. Even if it looked like it. Even if they go get Luke Falk. Say they bring in a first rounder. Even if it looked like it, it may not be your quarterback of the future. They don't care. If they're in rebuild mode, they don't care about the quarterback because you're only paying them, what, $8 million a year? Should we go get a veteran to give the fans something to feel decent about for the next 2 to 3 years while we finish this build? Should we go pay a decent quarterback about 13, 14, 15, 16 million? Yeah, at least give the fans happiness. We don't want to lose the fans in the process. Or do we want to save money and still keep the fans by bringing this brand new shiny one in for only $8 million, knowing this ain't the best class for us? We need to go get him in 2020. We need to go get our guy in 2020. And hey, if we luck up, maybe the guy we get this year might be lucky. And he might be the future, but we're not counting on it. That's what we're talking about. So if we do go draft the QB, trust me, they are not 100% sold that we just drafted the guy that we want to be the future. You won't hear them saying this in their press conference. They're going to be bold, but they're going to say, we just drafted the guy we hope is going to be our future. There's a difference in language. Some guys they draft and they say, we just drafted the guy we believe is going to be our quarterback for the future. Versus we just drafted a quarterback that we hope can be the guy for the future. Watch what I tell you. If we draft a quarterback in the first round, watch our front office language. You're going to look for 2 words. Hope versus we believe. 3 words, I guess. Watch it happen. Watch it happen, man. Hold on, guys. Hello? Hey, I'm busy right now. Nothing. I'm going live right now. All right, I'll call you later. Bye. Tanny is not the future. He never was. That's incorrect. He was the future for win now. He was the future for win now. Let's try to get everything we can around him. The truth is, the front office couldn't get everything around him in time. And I'm starting to realize it's really not their fault. Even though we like, God, you know what, man? We need to talk, man. We need to really break this down and be fair, y'all. Let's talk. Guys, it's all coming to me right now. Think about it. About 5-6 years ago, we were at a point as an organization before Tannehill. Oh my gosh. I mean, we're forgetting these big facts, okay? Before Tannehill, right before Tannehill, y'all, I want y'all to remember where we were. And my homie Pete, he got a good point here, man. He just texted me, man. Grier was the one who scouted Tannehill and vouched to get him. Man, Grier was the one who actually vouched for Tannehill. So I'm actually back up a slight bit. I still don't think he's the future if we're going to follow this process, but I'll back up just a slight bit just in case, maybe he's not out of here. I don't know. We'll see. But remember before we got Tannehill, y'all, I want y'all to follow me on this. That just make common sense to this. And y'all can make your judgment, disagree, whatever, but hear me out first. Let's open our minds to at least hear me out. I think here's what we forget. Before Tannehill, right before Tannehill, we didn't have nothing on our roster. We didn't have nothing on our roster, y'all. We didn't have the defensive linemen we wanted. We sure as hell didn't have no linebackers we wanted. For the life of me, we didn't have the corners. Oh my God, it's all coming to me. We had nobody. We had Cam Wake. I'm talking about units. Units. This conversation is in units, not one player who can't do it by himself. Units. We had no D-line before Tannehill. We had no linebackers. We had no secondary. And for the life of me, for the last 20 years, we never had a secondary. Let's just be honest. This is the best our secondary has been in a long time. We were so bad. We had like one running back, but then oh my gosh, we're about to break this down, y'all. Receivers, oh my God. We remember we couldn't even find one number one receiver. Remember, that was the thing about Miami. They don't even have a number one receiver. They keep switching running backs. Their quarterback situation, they don't know where to find them. Their secondary is the worst in the league every year. Linebackers are that's one of their strongest cores, and they're not even good. D-line, they got Cam Wake, Pro Bowler every year. Outside of that, they don't have any help. We had Devon Best at wide receiver. He was actually one of our, wouldn't Hartline a number one receiver at one point? Oh my gosh, it's all coming back. Oh my gosh. How quick have people forgot? Oh, I'm not disrespecting Brian Hartline. I love Brian Hartline, but let's call a spade a spade. He will be a good role receiver. He will be an elite role receiver, but come on now. Come on now. I love me some Hartline. 1 in 15 years, he saved the day. But let's just keep it 100 now. Okay? Let's keep it 100. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. We still ain't have an O-line. We've never had a tight end. I mean, we had some, but they were never the next level. When Gronk came in, they showed everybody what it should have been. Hernandez and Gronk, I remember. We had nothing. Do you know what started our hope again? I hate to say this. Ryan Tannehill started our hope again. We got the new quarterback, drafted in the first round. What pick was Tannehill, y'all? What number was he? What number pick was Tannehill in the draft? 8th overall. 8th overall. Somebody, man, 12th, 7th. Wow. We have to talk. 8th overall. Hey, y'all, we got the 13th pick this year. We got the 13th pick this year. We got the 13th pick this year, y'all. But Tannehill started it all. Tannehill started it all. After Tannehill came in, we tried to fix certain positions. Then the bullying came in. Hey guys, y'all keep up with me right here. Because I'm not talking about Tannehill in this conversation. This ain't about him. I'm talking organization now. If I got to tell y'all I hate Tannehill to get y'all to understand, I want y'all to see what I'm talking about right now, then I hate Tannehill. This ain't about him. I want y'all to see organizational here. That's when the hope started of rebuild. The rebuild was Tannehill, number one, first round pick. He was the rebuild. He was the start. He was the start. Then we tried to bring in players to start building, but then we had the bully scandal. And I can tell you now, some of these guys are probably in the front office like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We're trying to do something here. And now we got a bully scandal. Our line sucks. We look bad. We're not going to get a chance because the fans are calling for our heads. Yeah, I remember Reggie Bush, all that. Miller, Lamar Miller. Man, we went through too much. But the crazy thing is, we got a story about that for every position. We can go through a history of our O-line in the last 10 years. Remember this happened, then we got rid of him, then he bullied him, then they didn't like his sexual orientation, then this one did this, he got suspended and different. Like we can go through a story about the O-line. We can do the same thing about running backs. Remember Ricky Williams? He didn't want to stop smoking weed. He just wouldn't give it up. Then he comes back, and then he say, nah, I'd rather be on the beach in Jamaica smoking it up. He don't want to stay anymore. Then we got, Lamar Miller. Then we got this person, Ronnie Brown time. I mean, we got stories for every single core. Every single, we got stories to take us all the way through. Every single position I've been through something. Now it's Ajayi. Now it's this. We got every position. This is what the front office has been through. Stuff like that, man. You trying to build a franchise, just imagine it, guys. You trying to build a franchise, you bring in a great O-line, and you feel like you ain't got to worry about that line for the next 10 years because you already done estimated this is the cap we're going to use on those guys for 5 years, and we got them locked in. Then when they renegotiate, he's going to be older. We can get him for a deal. He'll be, if no injuries happen. They already got it planned out, and then they go into the next year. Oh, why we got to look back at y'all? We had y'all locked in. Now y'all beating on players and not getting along. Bully game, now you suspended indefinitely. Now we got to come back to this. But what did they do? They were like, man, I ain't coming back over there, man. Let me keep on working on this because I'm already in the middle of it. I can't mess up the work I already did at this receiver position. We're trying to figure that out. So here they are in the middle of figuring out receivers and corners, and they done fixed the whole line, and all of a sudden, now they tripping. Now we got to look at them. I'm 34, man, about to be 34 in about 2 weeks. Now we got to look at them. Man, y'all supposed to be doing y'all job and stop all this stupidity. What do? Do we keep working on this or try to address this? You only get for so many draft picks. It's already hard to get people to want to come to Miami. And then if you get them to come, they charge you even more because it's Miami. They already got a bad rep for a bad franchise. We trying to get back to the days where they marvel Miami. 72 Dolphins. We trying to get there. We ain't got to be the 72 Dolphins, but be revered just like them. Man, it's crazy. And now they working on trying to figure out cornerbacks and receivers. They go, matter of fact, hey, man, let's just go get our corners. Vontae Davis, Sean Smith. Let's forget it. That's waste top draft picks on our corners. Let's go get them. We got to move on, man. We got to keep this team refreshed. Now we got to put the old line on the back burner. We ain't gonna be able to mess with them for years. Let's stick with our plan. Let's just keep going and fix every position, and we'll get back around to it. That was a mistake because the game is won and lost in the trenches. But I understand why they did it. They moved on. You can tell, you see it methodically what they cared about in what off season. They used 2 top draft picks on these guys, Vontae Davis and Sean Smith. Y'all remember? Y'all remember? If you're a Dolphin fan, you know what I'm talking about. And today, none of those guys on the roster. Draft burned. Big pieces. Yeah, they were good, but look at the team they were on. The defense around them still sucked. They never had safety help. They didn't look good for us. They were still getting beat. And you know what? It wasn't even those 2 guys. To me, those guys played good against the rest of the league. But guess what? Tom Brady burnt Sean Smith and Vontae Davis every chance he got. And Dolphin fans just couldn't stand that. Man, our secondary sucks. So what did they do? It still ain't working out in the secondary. Let's get rid of trade Sean Smith, Vontae Davis, these guys. Let's get a draft pick or whatever we got to do. Fins up DB say this is crazy to think about it. You see what I'm saying? It's all a process. This is what the front office has been dealing with. There is a timeline here. You can't fix the whole team like that. When they say rebuild, they mean rebuild. Let's fix our trenches. All right, let's step out to our impact players. Let's build a good running game. Why you think those good teams, they try to build without a quarterback? Let's keep getting a mediocre quarterback, have a great running game, and once we have the team that's ready to roll, we drop our nugget quarterback in there. When you go get your quarterback first, y'all, what you do is say, hey, you're going to lose for several years because we're in rebuild mode. You're going to have a sucky defense, but hey, it's going to be a process. We're going to work it. But guess what started happening during all that time? The fan base is unhappy at the quarterback, because we ain't winning. The NFL, the media, and I ain't talking about Ryan Tannehill, I'm just talking about in general. This is all quarterbacks. Why do you think these days quarterbacks come and go? Number 1 picks come and go. It ain't like it used to be when the number 1 pick had 2 or 3 years to work behind a veteran. Because the Patriots did this to the whole league, y'all. When they were winning like 5 out of 10 Super Bowls, they owned an era. When you own an era, you have a lot of fan bases calling for heads and this and that and this. And teams break their plan and they feel the pressure and they go right into win now. Win now. Win now. Overspend for that. I don't care. Win now. Like, I don't care that we don't like the Patriots, but you'd be a fool not to spygate them. Spygate what they do. There's a reason why Bill Belichick, the day after they win a Super Bowl, he on a college campus talking about this is the pro day. Oh, I'm just out here, it's a pro day. Being spotted on college campuses and on their pro day. Stuff like that. The day after he win a Super Bowl. There's a reason. They bring in young talent and they keep rotating them in. And once your name gets big enough, let me hold your hand. Unless you were Gronk, which was Gronk was let's be honest, Gronkowski, hell, Hernandez started it. But Gronkowski, they were once in a lifetime tight ends, y'all. The big body frame, bullies, and can run, got hands, can block. Yeah, Belichick. That's why he's still there. Tom Brady ain't no question. But look at where they got Tom Brady, y'all. What round was Tom Brady drafted in? Y'all let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section what year was what 5th round. Tom Brady drafted in the 5th round. Do you know what that means? that means that they only spent like $8 million in 4 total years, y'all. Listen, they spent Tom Brady's first 4 years in the NFL, he made something like $8 million. Do you know what they were able to do in those first 4 years for Tom Brady? Spend real money putting everything he needed around him. Because they found their quarterback not in the draft early, but late in the draft. $8 million. Do you know a first round pick, number 1 overall, is getting $8 million a year for the first 4 years? You do got the 5th-year option. But they were able to get their quarterback for like $1.5 million a year. That was his signing and his bonus combined. Tom Brady didn't make more than like $10 million his first 4 years. But you know why they were able to do that? Because he didn't come in as the future. He came in as the backup. The new quarterback that they drafted was late in the draft, and he came in as a backup. All these guys have played football in college. Some of them got more explosive skills than others. But everybody done fell in love with finding a running quarterback because they make up for the team's deficiencies. Y'all think that's cool? Y'all think it's cool to have a quarterback that can make up for the team's deficiencies? Y'all would rather have a quarterback to make up for the team deficiencies than have no team deficiencies. That is backwards to me. You would rather have a quarterback who can get injured or who can slow down or who can not always be 100%, can have a great first year, great second year, and start to decline. You would rather have a quarterback that can make up for the team deficiencies than not having team deficiencies. They didn't bring Tom Brady in to make up for team deficiencies. They brought Tom Brady in to not have any team deficiencies. And sometimes out of that, you get a player that springs and blossoms out to be a starter and amazing. You don't think Cam Wake's story is different than Tom Brady's? It ain't no different. It was a different path, but same success. Tom Brady came in the late round, did not expect to be anything in his career with Miami. Not in Miami, but with the Patriots. Maybe do 2 or 3 years as a backup, hopefully prove myself to stay as a good backup. Cam Wake came from the freaking CFL, wasn't even drafted. Nobody cared. So what do you think we had to pay this man when he first started? We got a great deal. That's why Cam Wake signing as a young player was a benefit for us long term. He became a star and we were able to address other issues and save money on the D-line. The problem we had, unlike everybody else, the problem we had is that we didn't address all the other spots fast enough to when Cam Wake's contract came up. We said, hey, we can't offer you big money. But if you want to stay, be a franchise player, and have great recognition, come on. And some players pass down money to do that. Cam Wake wasn't one of those players. Hey, you about to pay me? But we ain't got a winning team. Let me be the name of your franchise. Cam Wake was about business, and I loved every bit of it. Not unless we became a winning franchise with the money that we saved on him his first 4 years, or however long we signed him at first. Not unless he became a competitive franchise, he was going to get his money. The Patriots have done that several times. They done had several Cam Wakes, but they ain't around long enough for you to notice. Because soon as that big-time player make their name for themselves, unless you're a generational player, it's thank you for your services. We appreciate you, man. You know how many times we done heard in the last 10 years, the Patriots let him go? I thought he was an all-pro lineman. I thought he was an all-pro defensive, this and that. Yeah, he is. But we're not going to pay him more than $8 million. They maintain a disciplined balance sheet over there. They know they got standards. We're not going to pay this position more than that. We're not going to pay that position more than that. Tom Brady even took pay cuts. He bought into the overall system of the organization, not the team, the organization, and what they're trying to trying to accomplish. What they are trying to accomplish. Somebody said Cam Wake deserves to go play a year or two for a contender. You are right. But he won't because he's the face of the franchise, especially in a rebuild. We got to have a legacy player to kind of mask all this terribleness. You seen that lineman yesterday for Buffalo that literally caught a pass on us? Caught a pass on us. That's how Cam Wake needs to go out. Congratulations, great year. They talked about Buffalo all night on ESPN and that guy who did that. That's good press for Buffalo. Even losing, the fans are like, hey, man, Kyle Williams, man, thank you, thank you. The fan base at least got a proud moment this year from a franchise player. See, as players like that, you don't know they're going to be franchised when you get them. You look up, 14 years done passed, you were a franchise player and never really had the title. But we respect you. Put that man's name up there. Put that man's name up there. He's definitely a Buffalo Hall of Famer. You see? And that's what we stuck doing. That's pitiful, y'all. You're supposed to be doing that for players with a Super Bowl, man. You mean to tell me we didn't get Cam Wake a Super Bowl? Blood, sweat, and tears kept signing with us. We didn't get this man a Super Bowl. Even in Buffalo, they went to the playoffs one time, and that man had one playoff appearance, one game, and they lost. Kyle Williams had one playoff game. It was a proud moment for the franchise, but that is so embarrassing too. Of course, they're going to look at the light out of it, and the fans will stay humble and be like, they're going to appreciate Kyle because he deserves it. But that is unacceptable for a franchise to take a player like that, 14 years and been a really good player in the NFL, take 14 years of his career, and nobody's going to remember him after this year unless you're a Buffalo Bill. Nobody's going to remember him. Nobody in history of football, nobody will remember him. If he makes it, quote unquote, to the Hall of Fame, which records like that, they probably won't. But if he was to make it to the Hall of Fame, people would be like, Kyle Williams, oh, okay, I don't remember who that was. That's what we're doing to Cam Wake. And that's why we got to pay him every year to do it to him. We have to pay Cam Wake good money every year because we're doing that to him. Cam Wake could have been going to a contender right now. Cam Wake could have been with a contender right now. Somebody say cut Wake. I'm going to be honest with you. That ain't far-fetched either after what we just heard in that press conference. Because if you ask me, oh my gosh, we did, man, coming to look at it, we did plug a lot of holes this year. But it was too many holes to fill. And Gase wanted to win now. He didn't want to look like a bum in front of everybody. He wanted to win now. So he said, let's plug him. And Tannenbaum signed off on it. That's why they didn't fire Tannenbaum. He's been reassigned. If you saw the headline, Tannenbaum wasn't fired. They say he's been reassigned. That means he might still be in the organization. He just has a different role now. You can't be in that role anymore. Because he kept signing off on Gase's win now. I thought Wake's contract is up. It is. But you don't think the fan base want to see Wake retire in Miami? They don't want to see him go sign a 2-year or 1-year deal with anybody else. And God forbid he wins the Super Bowl. Oh my gosh, do you know how much more embarrassing that'll be? Do you know how we'll be happy for him, but that makes us look even that much worse. If you don't think front offices think about this stuff too, come on, man. Now I like Grier's tunnel vision about that because he may not care and be like, the smart thing is to release Cam Wake. If we know we're not going to win next year and the year after that, then why are we wasting the $10 million? I could bring in a 24-year-old who we think could be the future for $8 million. I could use that 10. And if he turns out, yay, we got our future. If he doesn't, what was the purpose of having Cam Wake here anyway? Other than fan favorite, let's send him off the right way because we feel we owe him that. What will Grier do? You'll be a fool if you think that Grier is bringing weight back because we want to win a Super Bowl next year after what we just heard. After what we just heard, I just heard we ain't plugging no more holes. I just heard that we're not plugging any more holes. That's kind of what I heard. And if we do plug holes, it's somebody younger than 28 years old. Younger than 28 years old. So, what is Grier going to do with players like Cam Wake? Sports Brotherhood said, yeah, y'all kind of wasted Wake's career. I can't even say we wasted it. People underestimate how bad of condition we were in the day before we drafted Ryan Tannehill. There was no identity and not even a start of one. We didn't have an O-line, a D-line. We didn't know who our running back was going to be because we kept switching them out every year or two. Receivers, the headlines around the whole association, Dolphins don't even have a number one receiver. Dolphins worst secondary in the NFL. Oh, don't act like y'all forgot. Worst secondary in the NFL. And yet we got a much better secondary today, and Matt Burke has the worst defense in the NFL. Oh my gosh. I ain't gonna get on that. Y'all forgetting? The best thing we had were linebackers, and that wasn't saying much. That was crazy that was actually a decent core. And y'all know before Tannehill what we were going through at the quarterback position. People forget how far, like it's almost like saying on a 53-man roster, Miami has to fill 30 holes. But what people keep on forgetting is that realistically, if you're lucky, you can only fill 5 holes a year. Through the draft and free agency, because you're going to go get 7 in the draft, and you're probably going to go get another 5 in free agency. I'm talking about meaningful players where they're going to be starters, even if they're not great, they're starters. You literally get about 10 to 12 holes that you can fill every year. And then on top of filling those holes, only 3 or 4 work out to say, okay, they deserve to stay. The other 7, they got to go. So you net about 4 holes filled every year. When you're behind 30 holes you got to fill, 30 holes need to be filled. All I'm trying to say to y'all is we started the feeling a long time ago, filling those holes. The problem we had a long time ago is those holes never worked out. Do we have to go through the 10 quarterbacks that didn't work out for filling holes? Do we have to go through the 5 cornerbacks that didn't fill the holes? Vontae Davis, Sean Smith, Brent Grimes. People be like, well, Brent Grimes filled the hole. You miss it. Brent Grimes was older. He filled that hole just temporarily while we fill other holes. By the time we fill 2 more holes, Brent Grimes ain't in his prime no more. Or Brent Grimes ain't the same anymore. This is why patience, you can't fill holes. Games are also won in the draft, y'all. Bill Belichick keep trying to tell y'all that. Look at Bowden. He got rid of Bowden. Bowden was look at what Bowden did in one of their Super Bowls. Bowden did some nice things for the Patriots. Why did he get out of New England? Because based off of your production and what you did, to be honest with you, you earned a little bit more money from us, but we're not going to pay it. Thank you for your services. You will be okay in this NFL, though. Look at y'all naming them. Deion Lewis. Man, listen, we ain't got to go through it. The Jake Longs of the world, the Deion Jordans. These were the people. When you miss on those, you're good. See, that's what we can't forget. When you miss out from getting at least 4 to 5 solid players in the offseason that can be the future every year, if that don't happen, the ones that were solid 3 or 4 years ago are either no longer solid or they're starting to have injuries or they just tired of losing. They don't want to re-up their contract. They don't want to re-up their contract. They rather hit the free agency market, see what they can make. We lost a few stud players to free agency. They wanted to test the waters to see what they can make, and boy, did they not get paid, and they went straight to contenders. It's crazy. Do you feel we should have drafted Matt Ryan based off of us needing to fill 30 holes? 10 years ago, we needed to fill 30 holes on our roster. Like 30, we had holes everywhere. Don't just look at starters, y'all. See, that's where people make the mistake. They just think about building a team with the starters. Hell, we needed to fill like out of the 22 starters, 11 on offense, 11 on defense, we needed to fill about 17 of those holes 10 years ago. But people keep on missing the fact that when you fill one of those holes, as you're filling the other ones, the first holes that you filled are getting older and older and older and older. They done had a few injuries now. Production might be starting to slip on some of them. We were so far behind, man. We were in the negative so bad. It's not like going to make a transaction, you forgot to transfer money, and oh my gosh, I overdrawn. Oh, let me hurry up and transfer before they hit me with a fee. It's not that type of negative. It's the type of negative you doing bad. Oh my gosh, I hope my card works. I already know it's negative 5,000. I don't know. I already know. I hope it works. Oh my gosh, it got me through. All right. That's the negative we were in, and don't know where the money gonna come to pay for it. So all these, we could have had Drew Brees, we could have had this, we could have had that. We would have bought one of them in here, and they would have ended up like Cam Wake. The greatest thing on the roster that can't do anything. Man, I can't believe I just said that out my mouth because it just struck me. It just struck me. We have a history of disrespecting players. Not only is Cam Wake getting disrespected by not getting him a ring, but did we not learn our lesson with Dan Marino? Gosh, that pisses me off. All this man needed was one ring, and he would have been revered as arguably the best quarterback of all time. All he needed was one ring, and he would have at least been in the conversation. We're not tired of disrespecting our players, the greatest ones, the greatest players we've ever had. That's total disrespect, man. Dan Marino, man. I truly believe this man was the greatest quarterback of all time. And anytime I get in a conversation and say that, everybody just look at me and say, he ain't got no Super Bowl. So what's y'all point with this quarterback thing? We need another Marino. For what? You keep looking at the wrong position. We could have had Pat White back there paying less money for this long if that's the case. Man, that angers me, man. That's something that's always angered me. Dan Marino didn't win a Super Bowl. I could stay in the conversation. Dan Marino, the best quarterback of all time. I don't care what none of y'all say. I can at least stay in the conversation. This man was great. Dan Marino was great. And yeah, you're right, New York Blackout. This man was great in a time where quarterbacks can get hit all they wanted. They didn't protect quarterbacks. Go look at old Dan Marino highlights. You see dirt on him everywhere. Every single game. And I know they got all this artificial turf these days, but even when we didn't have it, you ain't seen that much dirt. It's ridiculous, man. We didn't get Dan Marino a Super Bowl. So what's y'all point? What's y'all point when y'all be like, Matt Ryan's and this and that, Miami should have brought him in? Why? So he could have been the next Dan Marino? I mean, that's still good. Don't get me wrong, because it makes it sound like I'm taking away from Dan Marino. No, Dan Marino to me was the greatest quarterback of all time, man. And I can't even stand in an argument with anybody because this man ain't even got a ring. Should I say it's Dan Marino's fault? Should I blame Marino? If I act like some of y'all, I might as well blame Marino. Gosh, man. It's crazy, man. Said Shula's fault. Whatever it was. But that's what we got a history of doing, man. And it ain't always on the office sometimes. Y'all don't understand why they fire these players, man. Why I was like, man, incognito, you out of here. You don't understand. That bully scandal hurt our plans by several years. Stuff as simple as that, man. Stuff as simple as that. But people look at it as, oh, we had a bullying guy. He ruined the season. But what do we got this year? But we forget the impact that had on our future, what our plans were. We don't even think about that type of stuff. Every time we out here talking football, I'm talking to people. I'm debating with people. We're not talking about the real issues of an organization. How the attributables, what's impacting what. What y'all think that the incognito situation was just a that year issue? That's all they had a problem with? The next year, hey, we had to perform. That screwed up the plan so big. Jonathan Martin was even though I don't think he even in the league anymore. He ended up being a bust. But y'all see this? The only thing that I am happy about is that now I realize that despite the win now mentality all this time, Grier at least was getting his way a little bit. It ain't completely lost for Grier. Because Grier's like, okay, he fired Gase. That means he sees my vision. He believes in what I told him. That's what Grier is saying. He believes what I told him. One moment, y'all. Hello? Hey. Yeah, what time? Just hit me up. Let me know, okay? All right, bye. Love you. Man, Grier at least got his way a little bit, man. At least a little bit. Let me tell you how. Grier is sitting back like, Stephen Ross believes in me and he knows I know what I'm talking about. That's why he made that decision. Now I ain't got to fight with Tannenbaum and hear about what Gase needs. Follow my plan, and I've already been working at it, and it looks like it's working out. Minka Fitzpatrick, Xavier Howard, Bobby McCain, Raekwon McMillan, Laramie Thompson. That's what he's thinking. We're building the cornerstone. Let me stay at it, man. Let me keep at it. Let me have this team at least to 70% by the time the first contracts like Laramie Tunsil starts to need to be renegotiated. Let me handle this. Yeah, Tannehill, I know. I just try not to talk about Tannehill because the haters they can't get over it, man. You're right. He's Tannehill's guy too. Let's make that a fact, guys. Tannehill is a Grier guy. Tannehill is one of Grier's guys. Okay? I don't know if that still gonna mean he's here long term, but he's one of Grier's guys. We got to keep James and Tunsil. He's working the plan out. So now, to be honest with y'all, and hey, let me go a step further, y'all. Guess what? No matter what coach we got coming in, guess who has full power now? Grier. Ross said it. He'll be in charge of all decisions made. And what did they say about it when they said, hey, Grier, what do you think about Tannehill's future? Grier said, I mean, he's on the roster right now. He still plays for the Miami Dolphins. He is on the roster right now. So right now, he's slated to be the 2019 quarterback. He's on the roster. Now, when the new coach comes in, he's going to tell me his thoughts about personnel. I'm going to tell him mine, and we make a decision from there. But he's on the roster. If y'all saw the interview, am I wrong? Ain't that what he said? Ain't that what he said? L. Burgess. Let me break that down for you, L. Burgess, because a lot of people saying that, but they wrong, man. L. Burgess just commented, they say Gase lost the locker room for making excuses for Tannehill. Okay? Let me break that down for you. Let me tell you where that's a lie, okay? First off, I saw that this morning come across as one of the writers making that assumption. Let me tell you why it's an assumption. Because it came out that the players were like, Adam Gase treated them different if you weren't one of his guys, and Tannehill was one of his guys. That's just a favoritism thing. Tannehill might have been one of Gase's guys and showed him favoritism. So if Tanny says this, Gase is like, okay. But then if another guy that ain't one of his guys, Gase is like, no. Okay? So then people trying to put two and two together and make this wall as if Tannehill was the reason for the wall. It didn't say anything about, they said Gase was making excuses for Tannehill. Gase would say, it's not Tannehill's fault. No, they made that article because players said that Tannehill was one of his guys, but when we would say this or that, he wouldn't treat us the same. That's just treating people different. That's not defending anyone. They're not saying, oh, we told Gase Tannehill sucks, and he was like, no, he doesn't. They not doing that in no locker room. Y'all ridiculous. You see how what I'm talking about with the media? They make an article, and as long as you don't like Tannehill, they know you're going to read it. You got them clicks. They finna get paid somehow. They work into y'all emotions. Now, TD does put his two and two together, but at least I tell you, that's me putting my two and two together. The way they write the article, they don't write it in fact. They always start it with sources say. Do you know what sources say means today in this world? Sources say means this is my opinion, but I'm going to make you believe it more by saying sources say. I'm my source. That's what that is. That's what it is. That's the real term for fake news. Not all this other stuff. That's the real term for it. What happened to the day where John Kennings from the Miami This is reporting that players said, like, put somebody onus on it. This person is saying that, put somebody's name on it. What happened to that? Everybody out here looking like they insiders, guessing. And people believe if they guess right 1 out of 5 times, we start thinking that, hey, they're insider. That's crazy, ain't it? And then they make an excuse about why they guess was wrong. Well, this changed at the last minute, so he had to do this or do that. Come on, man. Come on, man. Stop trusting all that crap, man. Stephen Ross literally came out. Let me start by saying everybody who said the reports about me firing, I don't know where you got it from because I never discussed it with anybody. I didn't know until literally last night, and that is a fact. So you all were wrong. But all week I gotta hear people, TD, man, you trying to ignore the facts. The reports are that Ross say he's gonna be getting rid of Gase. It ends up being the case. Now whoever told you that, whatever YouTube channel, whatever writer, or whatever told you that, that's a part of that fake news crap. Unless they said this is what this person is saying, then that makes sense. At least they, like I do. This is the conclusion I draw out of it. Don't mean it's right. But I'm trying to use my common sense. This is what I get. Get out of here with all that fake stuff, man. Y'all can't be believing all. Until it happens, then you know. Until you know, man. Sources say TD is the GOAT. Hey, man. Adam, I would have loved that if you would have named your source. You could have been like, I say it. And I would have been like, oh, then that's what I'm talking about, baby. Stay away from sources say, Adam. Now, that one might be right, but still. Name the source, baby. I said that Tannehill is next, so is Kiko. You might be right. You might be right. But we about to find out with this coach that comes in. We about to find out with the coach, whatever the coach sees coming in, him and Grier is going to talk about it. Because you know what I think Grier wants in the organization? He wants a coach that's going to come in and say, I can actually try to make us competitive now and fully support what you're trying to do from a rebuild standpoint. That's what he wants. I can take this player and we can figure this out and be decent. What's next up on your agenda? What's next up on your agenda? I can suffer at this position. I can mask that if we can improve in that position. I could do that. You know, I understand that we can't do everything day one. You can't give me the roster I need to win a Super Bowl just right away next year. That's what it's going to be, y'all. I know you. That's what Grier looking for. Somebody who I realize with this roster, we can't make a Super Bowl right away next year. But I can promise you that with your plan, we keep going. Next year, I can make us competitive. And who knows? I can get us to a point that we might shock some people. But what I know that I won't do is have us having another losing season. I feel like with this, that, and this, we could be 9-7 and your plan still moves on. Hey, TD, you never know, bro. You're right. You never know. That's why I said the last thing I just said. Hey, who knows? We might even just with those small changes surprise the world and keep on our path. Keep on our path. Do you think Jimmy Johnson is disrespected by Dolphin fans? He built a great defense. I don't think he's disrespected at all. I just think that cloud is just there. It's just like, you know. RT17 got TD delusional. How, man? How? With the direction we headed, I'm not even worried about Tannehill anymore. Tannehill, I'm with you in regards to he may not be on this roster next year. But how does he have me delusional? That still don't change what I was saying. If we're in win now mode, we should have been getting that man an O-line. The problem is we were in win now mode without the right personnel. TD, if we didn't have these injuries, we would have shocked the world, I believe. Yes, but that's the risk that Adam Gase took. Y'all have to understand that. That is the risk that Adam Gase took. Adam Gase saw that as a vision. We can shock the world now. Grier, stop, man. This is what was happening. Grier, chill, man. We can do this now. Give me this, that. I just need some veterans. Give me that veteran. They solid. They can get the job done. We can shock the world now. That's what Adam Gase saw. Truth is, we saw it too. The healthy guys, we saw it too. But that's the risk he took. Grier said no because it's too risky. We need to do it this way, methodically. Be there long term. No, we can get it now. And Grier probably knew. That's why he ultimately signed off on it. He vented his frustration and disagreement, but ultimately he signed off on it, which basically told Adam Gase, this is your career. You're banking on your career, sir. But I'm gonna get you what you need. But I want you to know you're banking on your career. And Grier probably deep down inside said, if everything works out perfectly, I believe what you're saying is correct, Adam Gase. We can win now. But this is the NFL, and history tells us nothing will work out perfectly. We are one injury away from none of this mattering anyway. But Gase wanted to go ahead and do it anyway. And it cost him his job. Nobody's saying it was a bad decision by Gase. But the risk he took was the risk he played. He gambled against misfortune. And in the NFL, every year, at least 16 teams will suffer some type of misfortune. In our case, it's 11 injuries. You're right on, Derek. In the past, it was Bullygate. Last year, it was cocaine, snorting, whatever. All kind of stuff, man. Telling you, man. Telling you. telling you. This is what's happening, man. This is what's happening. It cost Adam Gase his job, man. What's up, Rip Tupac? It cost him his job. You right, Hot Topic reaction. This man even had it where he didn't even have a bye week. The hurricane last year didn't even have a bye week. And didn't one of the players go AWOL in California? One of the players went AWOL in California. Y'all forget all these things that happened to us. Timmons, you right. Timmons went AWOL. That's when we were hoping to fix our linebacking core. Y'all see? Man, so much has happened in this organization, but we ignore all the little things. We keep ignoring it, man. We keep on ignoring it. But it was a lot of gambles, to be fair. There were a lot of gambles. And Grier is not trying to care about, he ain't even worrying about what the players think. He trying to build a winning organization. This man even listed, y'all tell me if I'm wrong in the comment section. He was even telling you everybody he worked with. You know, I work closely with Bill Belichick. I work closely with this and that. All these winning franchises that he named and he worked close with. All these winning franchises, man, he done worked closely with. He know what it take to win. He been trying to bring his plan out all this time, and every coach come in, they get so nervous because they losing that they want to win now. And he tell every single one of them, you're risking your job. You know that, right? And they all take the bait instead of being patient. Every single one of them take the bait. And Grier sit back and say, I told you. They all want to win now, man. Hello? Hour and a half. I've been in and out. Oh, I'm about to go pick them up. I know they're great, but I'll talk to you soon. All right. Yeah, bye-bye. Sorry, man. Got to go pick up some packages, man. But, man, you on a rampage, TD. Why not, man? This is huge news, man. I mean, you don't understand. This is the biggest news of the day. That press conference was the biggest news of the day. I didn't expect that. I expected the same blah, blah, blah. But Stephen Ross was 100. Stephen Ross was 100 with it. When I heard him say, did why fire Adam Gase? And this man said, because he wants to win now. I said, he's 100 with it. And thank you for being transparent. I see what's going on. Grier saying all the things he's saying. I work with this and that. I work with Belichick. I work with this office. He has a vision. And Stephen Ross believes in that vision. And Grier was able to clearly show, I'm trying to execute it, but look at what they're doing. And what am I supposed to not try to give them what they want? It has to be a perfect blend. But I need to bring in a coach and a GM that's not fighting against me. And they share the same vision. Didn't he say that in the press conference? You know, I will be looking to bring somebody in that shares the same vision as I on how to build a football team. That was news to our ear, y'all. That told us so much. That press conference gave us answers, and that's why I'm excited about it, because at least I know what the direction we're headed. So now I know what my narrative is. Instead of, would this be smart or would that be smart? If we're going to win now, everything I said in the past, that's what we should do. If we're following Grier's path of what he just laid out, we need to fix our entire team and then drop our quarterback into it. Do not go sign your future quarterback, and while we're still repairing for a few years, he done had started his career with 3 seasons of losing, already negative in the media. Fans already don't like him. Go fix the team and drop your quarterback in it. That's what we need to do, man. I've been on an hour and a half, y'all. This is TD Fans Talk, man. Y'all know I'm coming back today. As this news continue to come out, TD coming out, baby. I'm coming. This is the day. We got answers today. We didn't get the typical firing. You know, it's teams where their coach got fired, or we just felt we need to move on from a different direction. That's all you get. We got some real news today. Some Dolphin fans that see that press conference won't even realize the news they got. I hope they watch this video. This was some real news today. We got answers. This should cut all that talk. We need to go get Nick Foles. We need to do this, all this and that. We got answers today. We got answers on what we're trying to do, man. This TD Fans Talk, man. I love y'all, man. Peace, y'all. I'm out. I'll talk to y'all soon. Man.